Okay, here we are. I've got the camera facing in front of me. Welcome to Retirement is Underrated, the Tim Talk edition, the live stream. So I figured I'd pop in this Tuesday evening to see how all of you guys are doing. Hey, CG Anime, how you doing, sir? You having a good day? Yeah, it's been hey, Simply Debbie Sue. Hey, how are you? Hope things are going really well. Yes, they are. In fact, I actually got outside today and did a little yard work. So now I got to remember to stare at the camera. This is my practice for the day. So yeah, I was out in the yard today. I was doing some yard work in the side yard. A lot of leaves fell down. It was like 60, 65 degrees today. And a lot of leaves have fallen, but I was able to go outside just with a short sleeve t-shirt. So I got my blower out. I blew some of the leaves off the side, got it all clear. I've got somebody coming out to work on the house tomorrow, so that'll be good. So I wanted to get his spot all cleared out of the leaves. A lot of leaves falling down. Have you guys been starting to clear leaves out your way? Let's see. Simply Debbie Sue says it was cool here and the leaves are falling like crazy. Yeah, it seems like everything is just coming down now. It's going crazy with the amount of leaves that are falling. But yeah, it's I think tonight it's supposed to rain a little bit, and then it's supposed to be nice again for a couple days. So hoping to get some more work done. I just was over watching the real estate podcast by Jen Sylvester. She's over in Plymouth, Mass. She's got a good channel. She's got a bunch of subscribers, but she's a realtor out of Plymouth, Massachusetts, which the area I knew well, having grown up on the Cape. So nice person, but I had to skip out on that one to come on over here to do the live stream. But I see a whole bunch of new content made it out lately from everybody. A whole bunch of different stuff hitting the live. I see Buzz just posted some stuff. Steve posted a couple more videos. So, and let's see. Hey, Sam, how are you? Good to see you joining us. Thank you for taking time out of your evening to join us. I was just talking about a channel I was watching, Jen Sylvester. She's a realtor over in Plymouth, Massachusetts, not too far from where I grew up on the Cape. It's actually right on the Cape Cod Canal and then coming out going towards Boston. So I started watching her and, I kind of get a feel for the market and see where things are headed. So very, and also to see what I need to fix on the house and get straightened up here. I actually have somebody coming out to the house to do some work. I actually got him back again, which is always a good thing. We're actually on the other side of this back wall behind me. There's a bathroom which we're going to start working on, or he's going to. I say we. The only we part of the equation is I'm going to write a check. So yeah, he's going to be replacing the shower, putting up some new wall in, new floor, and then we're going to be fixing up some cracks in the wall and all sorts of things. Hey, Tiger's on too. Wow, look at all the folks on tonight. This is exciting. I like it. This is great. Tiger had a good video the other day. He had a live stream, and so you have to pop over there and watch his live streams. But good stuff. Yeah, let's see. Okay, so everybody's talking to each other. That's great. Yeah, it's been busy over here working on different stuff, and I actually made it over. I don't know if you guys watch All Things Ron, or yeah, I think it's All Things Ron. He also does a photography channel. Let's see, CGE said I had a cold for a few weeks, but since then I've gotten better and I've been working on videos again. Oh, okay. Now you do I remember right, CG? You don't have a YouTube channel, but you do some videos on the side as a hobby, or I can't quite remember. But anyway, yeah, it's been good here, working on things. So I made it over to All Things Ron, and he had a decluttering series of videos. So he had a great, one thing that he talked about. and I had it written down here because you got to take notes. But it said, he kept on saying as he was going through, he was cleaning out stuff in his basement, and he was talking about if your basement flooded, uh, what would you do? Would you keep things or would you throw them out? And I thought that was a great question. And ironically, so he was going through his basement and he has a series of videos and he's cleaning out his basement, sorted through different things. And there's a section that his wife takes care of, and then there was some stuff that he was taking care of. So, but it was an interesting question. If the basement flooded, I don't think his basement's probably going to flood because he's got to walk outdoors so he can open the door and all the water will go out. But if it did flood, what would you do with all the stuff? And ironically, as luck would have it, I thought, and a bell, you ever hear something and you hear a bell go off in your head? It's like, bing. And it's like, oh, wait a second. I can answer that question. What if your basement had what happened if your basement was flooded? Well, I can tell you what happened because it happened to me. And my wife, Lisa, and myself, we came from Norwood, Massachusetts, and our basement, it was, there was a underground lake, and the water table was very high. So we had a sump pump that was always going. It was I guess you could call it a Cape style house. It wasn't a big lot, maybe 7,200 square feet on 7,200 square foot lot, and it was a 1,400 square foot house. But underneath it had a basement, and it was an old fashioned basement, where you walk down, and it had the old steam heat and the radiators and everything. And then it had a sump pump that was always going. So if you didn't have the sump pump going, it would be flooded. Well, I used to work at a hospital in Malden, and back in the day, now we're talking about, let's see, this was just before we had my first child, when we had our first child. But the hospital would get rid of computers, and of course, I wanted to fix them up and give them to people in need who would need a computer. And these are the old computers. This was like early to mid 90s, probably about 94, 95 or so, maybe, 95, 91, maybe about 95 or 96. But anyway, I was working up at the hospital, and, I brought all these computers home. So I put them in the basement. Why not? Well, it rained severely. We had a torrential downpour, and the power went out. And we were like Noah in the flood. The rain came down and the waters came up, and they kept on coming up in the basement, so much so that they came up to the first step in our basement. So all these computers that we had, and luckily it stopped at the level that the furnace wasn't flooded out, but it was probably a good foot. The rest of the utilities were put up on a cement platform, but it had all flooded, and it flooded up to a point of the first step on the basement. So all of it flooded out. And of course, we had to throw everything. As you imagine, plugging in a computer after it's been flooded, probably not the best reaction you might get from plugging it in. So with sadness in my eyes, I brought them out to the corner. Now in Norwood, they had heavy trash pickup all the time. You can put anything out there. You can put a couch, a used car, or anything. They'll take it away. So it was wonderful. But I remember I put those flooded computers out there. Sure enough, we had a guy that would come around picking garbage and scrapping. So he would come around and he took every single computer that we had. I don't know what he ever did with them, but he took them. So we thought we would get smart. We thought, okay, I've got this settled. So what I'm going to do is put these things in plastic. I'm going to put our important things in plastic containers. Makes sense, right? The water would come in and the plastic containers wouldn't get flooded. Well, the same thing happened again. We had the rains came down, the power went out, the waters came up, and this time it was hysterical. except this time the boxes weren't underwater. They were floating. They were like little individual ships on the open sea, floating all around the basement. All these boxes that I had packed up, all these things I packed up in plastic boxes are floating around the basement. So, what would you do if your basement got flooded? Well, the first time around, we got rid of a lot of stuff. But it was a good question because, honestly, if the stuff was damaged or not good anymore, you get rid of it. And how much how many things do we collect that we really don't even need? We think someday somehow I'm going to use it for some purpose, and that day never happens. Or we put something down and we're going to get back to it later. Or perhaps we, collect other things that get built up after time. And so, it's funny. So yeah, his question hit home because that happened to us. And of course we as time would tell, we built up stuff again and we moved from Norwood out to New York State. So anyway, that question did have an answer this time. Let's see, let's catch up on the comments here and let's see. I do videos on my. Oh, you do have a channel, CG. I don't know why I thought you didn't. Okay, my mistake. Let's see. I've had some good days. Okay, hope you've been well. Let's see. CG is working on videos. Just folks just let's see videos. Folks just don't know. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh Sam, you listened to my son playing guitar. Yeah, that was something else. He was streaming that. Well, he recorded it and then he put it on Instagram. So I saw it and I thought, wow, I was so proud of him. He's been teaching himself how to play guitar. So I thought, well, then let me just put it out there. So I put it out there. Actually, I lost one subscriber because of it. I don't know why, but anyway, and I wound up in the end of the day from other things, we picked up a few more subscribers. So the net result is the channel's up in subscribers, which is nice. And also our friend Nancy, who was on one of these live streams before, I actually knew her from Massachusetts. One of her videos just went viral. She had over 10,000 views on it. So I'll try to at some point let you guys know of her channel again. But she had a viral video. So I was super happy for her. And that's always a good thing that you want happening to you. So let's see. Yeah, so he did the guitar playing and he's doing fantastic. So a lot of positive feedback on that. We're super proud of him. And my daughter had interviewed with a couple jobs for a graphic designer, so we're just waiting to hear what happens with that. One with the state and then one with another company downtown Albany. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's see, guitar. Let's see, workwear. What overall? Let's see, laugh on that. Oh yeah, Tiger. yeah, that is the cheater's way. Well, nature's way of saying you're not going to have that anymore, or God saying, that's a very nice collection of stuff you got there. Too bad you're not going to keep it. So yeah, so that's the cheating way of getting rid of stuff. Yeah, basement flooding is definitely, but it was, I was just as happy to get rid of it. It was an excuse to get rid of the stuff. Okay, you started on your channel 2 years ago, so you're way ahead of me. Let's see, that's great to hear. And yes, yeah, Nancy's doing a great job. I think simply Debbie Sue, you and her had connected on one of the live streams, but she just let me know that that had happened. So I was super excited for her. She's worked so hard and she puts so much effort into her videos with the assembly of them, and she's got different things. So I'm watching and I'm learning. There's so much to learn on doing these things. Let's see. Oh, good. That's good. Thanks, Tiger, for subscribing to CG. And I have to get my rear end over there and subscribe too, because I didn't realize that. So CG, once I get over there, I'll be another subscriber on your channel. So yeah, so things have been going good here. Still trying to declutter, and I'm going to be working on. I've been keeping a spreadsheet with all the different ideas, different videos I want to do, but How many, let's see, been a subscribers soon, need to watch. Yes. Oh, yes. Thanks for mentioning that, Tiger. Simply Debbie Sue had a wonderful video. She went with her husband to an apple farm stand where they had all sorts of these types of apples that some of them I've never heard of, and I'd be fascinated to, as I'm going through the area one day, is to try some of them. And it was just wonderful. And she has such a great word, Sue, simply Debbie Sue. You've got such a great way with words and the way you put the video and then the music, and then you had your dialogue in the background describing some things. So that was just fantastic. Let's see, Scott. Yes, so the Apples episode, and then, yep. Oh, thanks. Yeah, so it was good. What was it? I was thinking, oh, I don't know, before it goes in this side of the head and goes out the other side. Something wild happened this past week. Have you ever, I tried to log in, I could sign on to this computer in the morning. And so I turned it on, and Windows couldn't connect to the sign on service on my PC. And I was like, what? So it actually came up with a little message saying, you can't log in, I can't connect. And I'm like, what? So I restarted again, and then it came up. And then when it did sign in, everything that I had set up on the desktop was totally different. It wasn't my same desktop. It wasn't, nothing was the same. Uh, my Quicken that I opened wasn't opening the right way. Everything was backwards. And so I turned around, got things hooked up. So a couple things changed. And I thought, I'm just going to restart the computer. So I did. And then it came back to the old screen. And so I thought, well, that's weird. And of course, the computer drives me absolutely up a tree. And I was a computer programmer. So, it's a love-hate relationship. Let's see, do you carry a notebook to write your ideas or just in the spreadsheet? I'm trying to get better with that, Tiger. And hopefully I'm not going to knock over the camera. And I forget, Simply Debbie Sue recommended a fellow who's 80 who just started a channel, but he had started, before he started his channel, he recommended these little books. So he carried around a little booklet like this, but he also carried, there's a device called Plod, where he was writing ideas and logging different ideas as he was going. So he took a month to log different ideas, and then he took another month to learn how to set things up, and then he did another month of research in different channels. So he really did a fantastic job, and he's just taken off like a rocket. So yeah, I got a bunch of these. Let's see, I'm a long-term notebook guy. Used to write everything in them. Yeah, I kind of got away from paper because in the decluttering stuff, paper, I don't know about you guys, but paper has a way of just sitting around. If there's a surface in the house here, something's going to be piled up on it. If I did a pan around this room, any surface that's available, it's got something on it. And, despite my best intentions. So I'm trying to eliminate as much as possible and get rid of stuff. So I'm going digital as much as I can for long-term storage, but I still write things down on paper. I write stuff down on these notebooks I get at Walmart. It's a little pad, and so I write it down on paper because it's quick, it's easy. I don't have to think about typing. I'm just writing it out, and then from there I go ahead and transfer it into digital. The other thing I do is because I've got an Apple phone. One of these little guys here. Woo! Okay, there we go. Apple phone. It's got that little note application. So through my Windows PC, if I need to send different links to people, I'll actually send it through the notepad into the copy buffer, and then go on my phone, copy that, and actually send the text over. So that's worked out well. But anyway, real quickly back to my story, and then I'll go through the rest of the messages. So yeah, that happened with my computer. And once before, I had actually had an issue. Well, in fact, I'll finish up the story before I go get lost. So I went out to the house and, I was going to unload the dishwasher and load the dishes. That's what I do first thing in the morning. And so I asked the speaker who will name this, because if I say the name, the Echo device will start responding to me. But I usually say, hey, such and such, play this type of music. And so, because I want to listen to music while I do the house chores. Well, it couldn't connect. It couldn't do anything. Couldn't answer the time. Couldn't do anything. So I'm like, what in the wide world of sports? And in fact, it couldn't even connect to the network. I said, well, everything else is connected. I tried TV, wireless, everything worked. Well, it turns out that Amazon had a big outage this past week. I don't know how many of you knew that. I actually looked online, and it turns out Amazon had a huge outage for quite some time. Oh, AWS outage. Thank you for the clarification. Yes. And so it hit a lot of things that you wouldn't realize that AWS is involved with. So, oh, yep, you couldn't sign up to Amazon, and people couldn't get at their online banking or investments. And so really, it made me think, it's like, okay, I want, here, me personally, I keep all my data really is kept locally. As well, I've got some stuff online in the cloud, but anything personal or finances or anything, it's on a local level. So you got your OneDrive, and then I have a separate drive on that same level that doesn't go online, that I only back up locally. And that keeps everything private. So nothing's exposed to the web. But, it's a good reminder. And the other thing it reminded me, it's like, okay, every time I do something in Quicken or on the computer here, I run a little utility and I back up everything right away. Why? Because my name is Tim and I don't trust computers. Yeah. It happened years ago where I had, I lost an internal drive. I lost an external drive on my computer. Then I lost the internal drive on my computer. And luckily I lost some data and I was able to recover some other stuff. But it really, behooves, here's my public service announcement to y'all. Back up your data. 3 copies, 3, 2, 1, they call it. 3 copies of the data on 3 different formats, 2 locally and then 1 in the cloud or offsite. I actually probably have 10 copies or more because I don't trust computers. But it's really benefited me because this happened during the week, and I had to go to a backup to restore my Quicken. And it could hit you at any time. In fact, anything I do here for the channel, short of the live streams, that's just done straight through YouTube. I've got a backup of all that. Maybe one day I'll talk about that on a stream, how I back it up. I don't know how you guys handle the videos that you do, whether you put it, I've got what they call a NAS here, network attached storage. So that will, I've got everything backed up to that, but then I back up that to a storage. So it's always being backed up. And I set up something for my daughter as well. So I have actually 2 NASs here at the house. Yeah, pretty geeky, huh? Let's see, CG Anime, I'm having a busy day, so I have to go early, but I want you to know that's always good to see you and everybody in the chat. CG, thank you so much. And I'm going to get over there and check out your channel. And thank you for dropping by. I really, really appreciate it. And we'll talk to you soon. Be well and get some rest. So, if you're not, maybe you guys could put in the comments. Maybe you guys aren't as geeky as me or too much of a gearhead like I am. What do you do with like the videos that you do? Do you back them up? Do you strictly just let YouTube be the place of storage and then you delete them off? How do you guys do things? Do you store it off on a local hard drive that maybe you keep on the side? Do you keep multiple copies, or maybe you do something different that I haven't even thought about? But I had thought about that, and it just really brought to the forefront. If I didn't have a copy of the data and it was solely on the cloud, it would, you never know. The data could go away. There's no, I mean, they've got great backups and everything else. But if you're disconnected from the internet and you need that information now, you need to be able to get it locally. So I'm a big, let's see. Yep. So you put it on a portable drive. How many copies of your stuff do you keep, Tiger? I'm just curious. Um, so I think I'm probably going to do a video on it one day and just kind of go in as more of a public service announcement. But I've seen it really get people a bunch of times. I've seen it where people have had photographs on their phone, years and years of photographs, only to lose them because they didn't have it backed up anywhere. And it can happen. I've seen older folks who have forgotten how to get at stuff, or maybe they get locked out of their accounts and they lose stuff as well. So, anyway, 2 copies at the most. Yep. Yeah, I don't, 2 copies is good. If you got that and you're pretty safe. And then, 3 is always better, but 2's definitely great. And I don't blame you for paying for storage on the cloud. It's expensive. So if you start getting a lot of files locally, like I did, NAS is not a bad way to go. But that's not a backup solution. That's just it's a nice place to go. Think of it like if for those of us who went to an office and did work and you had files out of the network, or you always had those network drives. Think of it like that. The NAS is like that network drive. So you just put the files there. And then some of them, I have one of my NASs is just one drive. It's set strictly as a convenience item. My other one has 4 drives. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 drives. And they're both Synology devices. And the 4 drive is going to go to my daughter, who's a graphics design. And I got all our files off that one and gave it to her because she takes a lot of pictures and video. She's got like 4 terabyte or more worth of files. It's incredible. Let's go back through the messages here. Yep, paper is hard to leave. Yep. Did you notice? Oh, Sam, did you notice that one of those Pokemon cards you sent me is worth $2,000? Yeah, I talked to my son about it because I was getting a little confused because there was one on one side that was worth 2,000, and then the other one was worth next to nothing. And I've been a little reluctant. So I think he's eventually going to sell them. I'm probably going to wind up setting up an eBay account, but I did talk to him briefly. But there's a 7-hour difference between here and there, so he'll be back for Christmas. I'm sure we'll be talking about it some more, but it would be nice to get the 2,000. He would love that, to get the $2,000. It's amazing that little pieces of paper like that are worth those. And that's not even, I've seen some shows on like YouTube and some other places where it's some of these like baseball cards that are super valuable, hundreds of $1,000s, if not million, for a little piece of paper with somebody's picture on it. Call me cheap, but I'll take the picture of the picture and call it a day. I don't know. It's such a different world. So yeah, so that's kind of what's been going on. Yeah, it was a crazy time with that outage. So it kind of reiterated what I do here. So cover your interests, guys, with your data and keep it secure. But there's a lot of good, and there's let's see, I'm trying to think of the fellow's name. Not Ron, but oh gosh, have you ever tried to remember a name and you can't remember? It's an older fella, and he's in a 50+ community. His name will dawn on me any minute, but um, I was commenting on one of his videos, and he was talking about getting involved with different things, discovering your passion in retirement, and and what do you do to get out and get involved, or different hobbies. And I had mentioned that I like talking with people, but he suggested I do a video on it, so I'm gonna do a video on it, but kind of from the angle of the risk of becoming isolated in retirement. Tiger, hello, chatters and Tim. Oh, hey, Evie, how are you? Thanks for taking a moment and coming on over. Evie had a great, I'll talk about Evie's channel here for a second. She had a great video recently with, I call them the Gang of Four, Evie, and there's three other YouTube creators who sometimes collaborate with each other. And she actually had a get together with them, and they all got together and met up in the center of a town, and they had a great time together. It was so fun to see. In fact, I told my wife about it, Evie. I said, gee, if I can get her, I said, Lise, come online with me. And then I told her about what you guys were doing. I said, wouldn't that be nice to make some friends online in this community and make friendships like that? And so, you know, keep her in your thoughts. I'm slowly kind of working, and I'm hoping, but what will happen is my wife will get on the channel, and everybody will want to see Lisa, and they say, forget about them. Yeah, get him out of here. She's awesome. I definitely married up. So let's see. Have you said in McKinney's, Texas? Karen, Rhonda, Allison, and myself. Karen came from New Zealand. New Zealand. Okay. Yes. I thought she was, I don't know why I wanted to say she was from Ireland or one of the Isles, but no, from New Zealand. Okay. She's funny. She's a hoot. And I guess her and the other gal, they put their hair up in some sort of, I don't know what you guys call that, but one was imitating their hair like the other one. So that was great. And Evie, how's your dad doing with his channel? I haven't been over there lately. Is he still riding his bike and doing his thing over there? So it's been a great. Let's see. She stayed at Allison's house. It's called the Karen Bun. Okay, interesting. Is there an origin of why it was named the Karen Bun, or is there something significant about that? I don't have enough hair here to do a bun, so I got the beard, not the bun. But let's see. Evie, he's been moving slow. Oh, okay. So he's taking a break. Okay, he's moving slow. He's just sore, or just, well, anyway, we'll keep him in our prayers and so on. So, well, send him best from the YouTube gang and tell him we were asking about him. So, but other than that, guys, let's see. Karen is famous for her hair and never being down, so they make a big deal out of it. That's great. It's camaraderie, isn't it? Imitation is the best form of flattery. Okay, he's 88. Well, God love him. That's wonderful. The fact that he's out was riding his bike and everything. I have an aunt who's in New Jersey. My mother's sister. She's 91, or probably is kind of coming up on 92. And so, it's amazing. My mom's been gone since 2007, so it's wonderful talking to my mother's sister about things. So it's wonderful. Make the most of the time that you got them. Enjoy that time. And I'm so glad you guys get to spend time together, Evie. It's so important. My brothers and myself don't nearly get the time together. They give me maybe 5 minutes on the phone, and then they cut it off. That's about it. So, oh, thank you, Evie. Yeah, hit that like button, smash it, and get the word out. Let's get the subscriber count up. Yeah, it's so funny. I've been looking at the channel analytics, and it's funny. Yes, we'll definitely be praying for her. I don't normally, guys, this channel's not about religion or politics. I leave that out, but I do pray, so he will be in my prayers. So I was looking at the YouTube analytics, and it's interesting because we have these subscriber counts, but then I look at the amount of views that you get on anything is mostly from people who aren't even subscribed. It's the craziest thing. Like in 90 something percent of people who actually watch the videos. And even stranger is that the importance of shorts in the channel. And I was surprised. That wasn't, initially I was thinking, okay, I'll just concentrate on the videos. But honestly, most of the subscribers from the channel, I would say that I'm guessing here, but it seems like when I look at the videos and then the number of subscribers that you gain or lose, most of the gains are happening from the shorts where they just come up in the feed, and it's not even people searching for that topic. YouTube just promotes. Still don't know how it does it all, but comes from the shorts, and people wind up subscribing because of the shorts. So I have to consider that more. I don't know whether it's do a full content video and then do a short that kind of indicates to the long form. Let's see. Do you link a long video from a short? Evie, I'm not that smart yet. I'm working on it. I'm shooting. I'm lifting the bar. So there's a lot of things that I'm trying to learn and figure out. Like linking the video. I did watch one fella who talked about the settings that you should have. The settings you should have on your channel. So I did all of that, and then some people. What I find is interesting is there's two things that I'll have to get my rep Tim's brain around is some people have chapters, like you have one topic and then it goes to another, and they're links within you see the timeline, but then it's break, and then if you hover over the timeline, it actually shows the topic. So that's interesting. And then let's see, I forgot what the other thing was, but I'm kind of learning how all of that goes. So the question, let's see, do you edit on your computer, on your phone? On the computer. The phone, I do all the photography on the phone, and in fact, I got the little Ulanzi stand here, which I have the arm because it's awkwardly placed, holding up my video camera for my desktop in front of me. But all of the regular content is just shot on the iPhone, and this is the iPhone 13. So it's if you put the chapters, it may cut your view time down. If you put the chapters, it may cut your view time down. Do you mean it may cut? Oh, do you mean because people will skip ahead because they're kind of bored with what you're talking about, so they're going to pan ahead to something better? Is that what you're saying, Evie? And I like the idea of cutting a piece out of the content. Oh, if they skip to the end. Okay. So does YouTube only count that as a partial view then? Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know. Maybe I should avoid it for now until the channel has a decent amount of subscribers. Yeah, there's so much to learn. My goodness. Or the way, I've got to work on. I know there's an ending screen now that I can put, and YouTube will put in a video that it would recommend for you. And I'm not sure whether I should write a trailer for the channel. I know some guys do, some channels do, some do an intro. I'm not sure what your guys' opinion is on that, if you even think it's necessary. It seems to be the popular thing is the thing we're doing now is just doing a talking head thing. Let's see. Tiger says, sorry, I need to get on. Okay. Well, Tiger, thank you so much for joining us. I was really excited to see you here tonight. So, it's I appreciate the support of all of you. I mean, I'm very, very encouraged. So yeah, I'm learning from all of you on how to do this stuff. Let's see. Okay, so Tiger says, don't do the intro, etc. They don't. Okay, so you think, oh man, same to you, Tiger. I appreciate you. So they drive people away. Okay, that's good. I'll just keep it simple. What do they say? KISS, keep it simple, stupid. So I got the stupid covered. So, I'll keep it simple. Yeah. So, it's, it was, no, I won't say that was, if my brother ever watches the video, he'd find out. I called my brother the other day, and honestly, I forgot it was his birthday. And I keep it on the calendar, but I called him anyway. I was a day late, and he let on, "Oh, you're late for my birthday." I said, "Oh, I always get it, you know." So I played along with it. I realized that, oh yeah, it was his birthday, so I sang him happy birthday. So God help me if he sees this and he realizes, oops, he did forget my birthday. But I see it all the time. That's on my reminder. Anyway, oh, and when you upload the short, look about halfway down in the menu and you can choose link to long view. Yeah, they also have they have a playlist that I've been linking it to 2 playlists so that I've been doing that for everything, whether it's a short or long. So does that, when they click it, will go to one of my videos, Evie? I do click the link to a video, so I have been doing that. So maybe I started to do it right. I do that. I do the hashtags. They do channel. Is it channel tags that one the guy was talking about? Tags within the description of your channel. So yeah. So that's a lot of different things. So a lot more research to do. I don't think I'm tired. Okay. You just do an individual video then? Yeah, I kind of figured that out. My content's kind of been trying to find my niche. I guess I'm still kind of discovering what, because my videos, if you notice, are kind of all over the place. It's kind of, I see something funny, I record it. If we go to a place, a museum, or a funny thing happened while we're there, I record it. If we go on a foliage drive, I've got some of those coming up, I record it. So the content's kind of all over the place, as well as some other things that I really want to talk about, like, how I was able to retire at 59 and a half. I know there's a lot of channels on that and different people. There's a great channel that talks about, he does interviews with different people who have retired. But, kind of sharing my story and my perspective. It's your life, Tim. Keep going and people will find you. Okay. Thank you, Evie. Yeah, it's the ideas keep on coming. I mean, there's just so much, or I'll get inspired by watching what somebody's doing, and it'll give me another idea. So I've got a whole list of things. In fact, I think one of the things I wanted to, let's see, well, I'll probably do some decluttering videos as well, and some other topics. So anyway, anything going else? I think that's kind of. I'm sure there's tons more. I mean, my mind's kind of all over the place. There's all sorts of stuff going on, but and it's coming up on the holidays soon too. What are we, a month away from Thanksgiving? And so Thanksgiving, and then Christmas coming around the corner. So all sorts of things happening. But anyway, anything you guys want to plug for your channel? Anything that you got coming up that you want to let us know about, or anything that for somebody who's going to watch this live stream afterwards, things that you may want to promote that people should see. So why don't you put it down here in the chat? But we're probably going to come in for a landing soon. I think usually about this time, probably going to end it soon. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you a ton. I appreciate the input. I'm definitely looking at your channels and how you do it, and trying to learn as much as I can. I appreciate the comments and the support from different folks. It's been wonderful, and I tell my wife, I say, it's, for me, it's a social connect as well. And yes, when I go out and about in the community, I mean, I talk to anybody and everybody. And if I ever move down south, I think that's going to be a dangerous thing, because they love to talk. So, God help me if I ever get sent to the store for a loaf of bread. I'll be 6 hours in a 6-hour return trip, because I would have spent time talking to somebody. But anyway, all right, guys, I'm going to end it here. But thanks so much for everything. I look forward to getting together with you guys again on next Tuesday. And I got some videos coming out soon, some shorts, some longs. So anyway, let's see. Have you seen her stress? Debbie Sue talk about her stress? No, I haven't. I have not seen that. I haven't seen everything Debbie Sue. I've seen her stories that she reads. I've seen farm, the farm stand one. Haven't caught everything, but Walmart. Okay, I'll look that up on our channel. Yeah, people love stories about Walmart. I did a short about Walmart, and it was no more than 20 seconds. Got 1,800 views. It's crazy. It's just as much fun as watching her read or open mail. She does what she wants, and we love her. Yep, there we go. All right, guys. Best wishes to all of you. You have a wonderful night, and take care until the next time. Bye-bye.